Miss Rivers has asked me to mention that if during the performance she says anything that might offend any individuals, families, organizations, races, creeds, religious groups, states, countries, or planets, please know that from the bottom of her heart, Miss Rivers would like to say,
just lighten the fuck up. These are just jokes, you assholes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the best act in her price range, Miss Joan.
Ever made. Trash! Oh, by the way, how do you like my coat? It's Oscar. De Laurenti, what do you think I was gonna say? But it's just trash. I mean, let's just start with this stool. If it was Kathy Griffin, this would have been moved fucking down here. All afternoon, it's Kathy this, Kathy that. Well, she leaves a very filthy toilet. She's an old whore. Allegedly. I am so scared to say anything these days. This whole act should just be called Allegedly. Thank God you're laughing. What a nice audience you are. You know when that changed? 9/11. 9/11. I know it sounds terrible because it's all tentative. I mean, we all went through so much. I mean, we're still looking. We know the guy's name. Osama bin Laden. How hot is that? I mean, he's a tall guy in a sheet. 6'4" in a fucking sheet. Just stand in front of linen sales. Just stand. That and he's on a rack in a dialysis machine. I mean, have you ever been to Iraq? There's one outlet. Just go with the plug. Follow the cord. We gotcha. How'd you find me? Because I hate stupid people. You know what I'm saying? Oh, and I hate old people. Anyone old here, just get up, take your fucking walkers, and crawl out of here. Yes! Any one of us should be shot at 75. You'll get all these great threats. I mean, oh, and they're proud to be old. If you're gonna be old, go sit quietly, munch on your gums, and shut the fuck up. I'm 87 years old. And you smell! You smell! That and old people who shop at Costco. Am I wrong? Why are you shopping at Costco? How stupid is that? You're 96 years old and you're buying 18 jars of mayonnaise? You're gonna be dead before you hit the checkout counter. Are you aware of that? Unless God likes sandwiches, you're a fucking asshole. Oh, I hate old people. But you're old, Miss Rivers. Well, I don't see me. I don't care. I hate old Attention, Costco buyers! My book has been banned by Costco! It is on the National New York Times bestsellers list. I am selling it here today because this is America and we are allowed to sell what we damn fucking please. Marie Antoinette, never mind cake, let them eat shit. That is why my book is banned. Meanwhile, they're selling condoms by the pound. Don't those children. Next thing, they'll be burning the Bible. I was standing on the steps where freedom of speech was born, and I hear that Costco banned my book because I wrote a naughty word in the back cover. This is ridiculous. This is not what this country is all about. This is America. And let me just tell you something. Martin Luther King did not march so this could happen. Gandhi did not starve so this could happen. Mother Teresa did not hose down those fucking dirty lepers so that they could ban my book. She's so smart. This is America. And you know what I say to Costco? I Hitler has this been done to a Jew who wrote a book? I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. This is a mother of four who stands beside me. Stands beside me fighting Costco. American families making a stand with me. I'm the Rosa Parks of white people. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. Yes, I know you're doing your job, but I'm handcuffed now. Here today in Costco, we made history. Yes, we can! Yes, we can! Yes, we can! Call your friends to get me out of your store. This is bigger than the both of us. I love when people defend. Like that asshole on television I just watched. Oh, like I'm racist. Yeah, right. Well, let me just tell you, I don't give a shit if you're black, white, yellow, or green as long as you can do my hair. Let's get it right now. That's what counts. I'm so tired of this. But anyhow, this is my dog Spike. He was not murdered. He committed suicide. We're gonna be serious here right now, white people. We're gonna be serious. This dog. Ruff, ruff! This dog committed suicide. I have Filipinos for neighbors. Allegedly, they eat dog. Look for a Filipino in the audience. Look around for a very short person. Pause. It is just. But anyways, I have Filipinos for neighbors, and my dog went and stuck an apple in his mouth and rolled in gravy and went and scratched on the door, and I never saw him again. And she stands here, this bitch. Oh, I hate liars. We'll get back to this in a sec. She stands there and she says, "We don't eat dog." Well, she's very short. "We don't eat dog. We don't eat dog." There's a leash hanging out of her mouth. They eat dog. I mean, and I went over for Thanksgiving. The turkey had a frisbee in its mouth. You know what it's like eating a turkey and it looks up and licks you on the cheek? Oh, I could barely have seconds. So anyway, I just came up through New Mexico with my grandson, and I went through San Francisco and I played for all blind people. Oh, which I know, it's very horrible. My mother was blind. I'm sick of blind people. Let me tell you, if you're blind in the audience, just tap out. Oh, sorry. They're so fucking selfish. I mean, when was the last time a blind person gave you a compliment? Think about it. You look great. Have you lost weight? Never happens. They're always talking about themselves. It's the train coming at me. And they always have the great apartments of views. Why? I'm facing the goddamn fucking brick wall and you can see the park. Just like my friend Anne Frank bitched about her apartment. Is she here?
Sad news today. Joan Rivers, who made us laugh for so many years with her edgy sense of humor, has finally gone too far!
It's the duty of a comedian to find out where the line is drawn and deliberately cross over.
What? You expect me to go 30 minutes without using the bathroom? This is show business, people.
For other people.
It's almost like people have gotten soft.
The line is the joke funny or not? If it wasn't a funny joke, you'd be like, oh, that's horrible.
I want to apologize for a comment that I made on last night's Fashion Please about Zendaya's hair. I didn't intend to hurt anybody, but I've learned it is not my intent that matters, it's the result. And the result is that people are offended.
If you're easily offended, please don't come to a comedy show.
When they start going for the comedians, everyone else needs to sweat.
This incident has taught me to be a lot more aware of cliches and stereotypes, how much damage they can do, and that I am responsible, as we all are, to not perpetuate them further.
They associate dreads with something else. This is what Juliana did, and that's why she's getting a lot of poop. She's not Joan Rivers. And unless you know how to make jokes, don't do it. Because this is what happens. She took the mickey out of everybody, including herself. She was a comic who made fun of everything and everyone. That's one thing. This is a newbie, you know. Juliana is a newbie.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to welcome back once again one of the funniest ladies in America, Ms. Joan Rivers.
It all goes back to my childhood. I was not a pretty girl. You know how some people comment on a person's appearance by saying things like she looks like her father? Well, I actually looked like my father. Mustache, man boobs, big thighs, hunched shoulders, sideburns. I mean, all I needed was an enlarged prostate and you would have been able to tell the difference. When you go home, I want you to dig deep, deep inside of yourselves. And I want you to come up with your most painful memory. I want you to take that memory. I want you to twist it. I want you to make it funny. Because that's where comedy comes from. You don't start with funny and try to make it funny. That turns to shit. Comedy comes from pain. Mary Louise, baby, don't take notes. Just listen, okay? Comedy comes from pain. Personal truth can be the foundation of comedy. That outrageousness can be cleansing and healthy. Maybe this attitude can also be attributed to my childhood. I mean, my parents hated when I made a scene. I mean, I could have clubbed my grandmother to death like a baby seal with her walker, and all my mother would have done was go, "Joan, stop it, the neighbors can hear, don't make a scene." I'm from Brooklyn. And when I was younger, I didn't date too much because I was not what you call attractive, which is a nice way to put it. I was 26 years old before I got married. I waited so long at the altar, I could have been ordained. I mean, I was just, I was such a dog to get me down the aisle, they threw a bone. You know what I'm saying? The only way I could have gotten a hickey was if the vacuum cleaner was stuck to my neck. When I got engaged to Edgar, oh, thank goodness, knock on wood, I was thrilled. My mother-in-law, she wore a cheerleading costume going, "Hooray for Joan!" My mother-in-law, not so much, not so thrilled. I mean, I knew she didn't like me when they wheeled in the wedding cake and she bit off the bride. I'll tell you what I treasure. This is a serious thing, you'll fall asleep now. I was working in Greenwich Village, and I was starting out, and people in those days, I was doing mild little jokes. You know what I'm saying? Really little jokes, but they were very outrageous for the time, okay? And I was starting out, and people, they were not so nice to me as they are now. They would get up, they would spit in your face, and they would walk out. "Yeah, well, screw you, same to you." And they would walk out. And so I was starting out. I was really down and really starving and failing, and Lenny Bruce came to see me. He sent a note back to my dressing room that said, "You're right, they're wrong." I held it in my bra. I mean, anytime I would bomb, I would just say, "Well, Lenny Bruce thinks I'm okay." Well, Lenny Bruce said, Lenny told the truth. He was an epiphany, a total affirmation that I was on the right track long before anyone said it to me. He went off inside me like an enormous flash. 7 years again at these terrible clubs, and nobody would take a chance on me. I'm telling you, I had a really rough time. But now, I'm delighted. 17 years in the business doing well. I mean, I still get into a limousine and I go, "Am I lucky? Am I a lucky bitch?" Because those 17 years was so rough. I mean, I don't take anything for granted. I go, "Oh God, we're staying at the comfort suites!" It makes you feel so good. Because I think it's not gonna last. It's not gonna last. I don't take anything for granted because I think it will not be here tomorrow.
If thinking that women are not funny, emotionally irrational, and less intelligent than men makes me sexist, then yes, I am sexist.
Now you gotta tell, okay, you can't make this kind of joke, but you can make that kind of joke. The whole point is comedy that's supposed to be, to some degree, limitless. I mean, we're supposed to joke about things that of course are serious.
It drives me crazy. Sexism in stand-up comedy is alive and well.
You've probably heard what's happening in the news recently regarding sexual assault, especially in the entertainment industry.
My mother had a book titled "Men Are Stupid and Like Big Boobs."
Can you imagine the jokes?
She could go there on the
Imagine what
jokes.
she went through, a woman in comedy back when she started.
How much worse would your real face look than that clown mask you had welded on your head?
Do you think women are
They're not
don't want to yap, and if you want to yap out the commercials, go watch it in the other TV with the ladies in the kitchen.
You need quiet in the room.
Sounds like she's a slut.
I can't take this. Women that sleep with men, unless you are married, you're a slut, you're a whore, you're a tramp, you're disgusting. Now, if he gives you a ring, it's a whole different thing. You're in love. What has love got to do with marriage? Love has to do with getting engaged to a big fat Jew like that woman did. Because it's all about looking good and feeling good and making the men think you're hot. I spit on education. No man ever put his hands up your skirt looking for a library card. But I'm a good housewife. No man ever made love to you because you did the linoleum. Oh, the floor's immaculate. Lie down, you hot bitch. It never happens. You marry for money, but I won't have an orgasm. You want an orgasm? You want an orgasm? You marry an old disgusting man, and you're gonna take you to a fur shop, and you say, shall I get the sable or the mink? And he'll say, take both. An orgasm like you'll never believe.
Keep in mind, there are people who go through traumatic events, and one of the ways that they heal and get through it is through humor and through comedy, you know, and that's not for everyone, but some people do cope with, you know, traumatic events that way. So I just feel uncomfortable saying that a comedian can do this and that.
Can you love someone who did bad things? Can you still love them? It's vital that people are held accountable for their actions, no matter who they are. We need to be better. We will be better. I can't fucking wait to be better.
Mommy, Daddy killed himself. I sat in stunned silence as Melissa broke the news to me. My husband, Dad, had committed suicide. Suicide? Edgar? Surely it had to be a mistake. But it was terrible. And he was in such pain. Fox came to me and said, you can stay, but he has to go. And I said, well, then I go too. And they said, which I didn't expect because the numbers were growing, they said, tomorrow night's your last night. It's just awful. And he knew what it was about. You know, he wasn't a stupid man, he was a very smart man. And I was very angry with him. I was. I wish I could say I was this wonderful, good wife, but I was furious at him, that we were in such pain. We were both hurting. And I certainly knew why we were off the air, you know. I knew it was him. And I guess somewhere I felt that he should have stepped down and not let me make this grand gesture which destroyed my career. Which it truly did for a while. Then we were just raw with each other. You're just raw, you know? And I got to this point where I was like, I can't hold the two of us up anymore. I can't. I've got to get away and heal myself. It wasn't about the show, it was just, I can't do this anymore. And then Edgar overdosed on Valium and Librium and washed the pills down with miniature bottles of scotch from the hotel room minibar. One night, after the week of Shiva, Melissa and I walked into a Los Angeles restaurant. And everyone was looking at us, waiting for us to order hemlock cocktails or stab ourselves with our side salad forks. But we held our heads high. And when I opened the menu, I said, If Daddy saw these prices, he'd kill himself all over again. For the first time since the suicide, Melissa laughed. Anger left her eyes, and I saw the old sparkle then. I also saw every head in that restaurant turn towards us disapprovingly. Her husband dead a week, and they're laughing. These people don't want to see us heal. What they didn't understand was that my feelings were so overwhelming that I was able to deal with them in the only way I knew how. By laughing through my tears. Everything was stopped. Stopped. And here I am with a daughter who's in great trouble. And you're not here to help me? I got the gun out. The whole thing, I got the gun out, and then my dog, this little dog, came and jumped on my lap, and somebody loves me. I gotta take care of you. That was a big turning point in my life. My little dog, this stupid dog, a Yorkie who I adored, literally came and sat in my lap. And literally he saved my life. Truly saved my life. One of Edgar's friends said, he shouldn't have let this happen, but his wife's career took off so fast he ended up fostering it rather than fostering himself. Was it me? But it is perhaps less painful to be punished for what you do than to punish yourself by never doing anything at all. I just came up through Mexico, and very nice people, but so fucking ugly. Oh, sorry. I want a show of hands here. Which one of you has ever looked at a picture of a Mexican in a magazine and ripped it out and said, make me look like this? It doesn't happen. Oh, Snooki. Oh, her pussy is so exhausted. I mean, moral dilemma. Snooki's, if you touch Snooki's pussy while she's half asleep, is it a crime or just how she usually does it? Yes, Snooki's pussy just winked at you, but don't be fooled. Her pussy winks at everybody. If that dress were a baby, it would be abandoned in a mall bathroom. Northwest? That baby is so fucking ugly. I've never seen a 6-month-old so desperately in the need of a waxing. And all I'm saying is that Kim Kardashian should not have been allowed in the White House Correspondents' Dinner. She went to the president and said, what team do you play for? Oh, and speaking of teams, we all know Obama's gay. Yes! Michelle is a tranny, a transgender. We went from a Jackio to a Blackio. Living with Melissa, it's still the same stupid room. I mean, those women trapped in the basement in Cleveland had more space. They should not be upset. They got to live rent-free for more than a decade. Oh no, my first sexual experience was a rape. You hear me? A rape. Luckily, he didn't press charges. As Lenny Bruce said, I am not here for remorse, but for justice. The issue is not obscenity, that I spit in the face of authority. In the face of authority, spit right back at Bruce. By sentencing him 4 months in the workhouse. Bruce was prosecuted first and foremost because of his words. He didn't cause any harm, he didn't assault anybody, he didn't steal, he didn't engage in any contact which harmed anybody else. And therefore, first and foremost, he was punished for the words that he used. It is wrong to punish anybody because of his ideas. It is what we should truly be ashamed of. We drove him to poverty and used the law to kill him. You want to be serious? I have a 6N tattooed on me to make my grandson remember. 6N for 6 million. Because my ancestors were killed in the Holocaust, in Auschwitz. But to say, all of my relatives were killed in Auschwitz, nobody's listening. Nobody cares. But if you make a joke about Auschwitz, people remember Auschwitz. I make Rosa Parks jokes, but it makes people remember Rosa Parks. It's not mean. It's not mean. It's not mean. I say the same things that your viewers say to their friends sitting next to them on the couch. I'm one of the few shows that says ugly dress, and that's okay. These women make $28 million a picture. You really think that a Nicki Minaj cares that I didn't like her dress? You know? When you're in that kind of bracket, you don't really care. You don't worry about feelings when it's about dresses. I don't know what your life has been like, but I have a lot of people who have been through hell. And if you can make a joke to make something easier and better, do it. Done, do it. That's it. Look, I don't know what your life has been like, but if you can make, Winston Churchill said that if you can make a joke you can make somebody laugh, you give them a little vacation. And maybe you take the worst thing in the world and you make it funny. You give them a vacation for a minute from a horror. No, you know what? I'm done. Because all you have done is negative. All you have said is negative. I make people laugh for 50 years. I'm put on this earth to make people laugh. My book is funny. I read Fur that was killed 15 years ago. I work for animal rights. I'm not gonna bow to political correctness. You are not the one to question somebody who does comedy. Sorry. I have learned to have absolutely no regrets about any jokes I've ever done. You can tune me out, you can turn me off, I don't care. But you do have to learn. If you want to be a satirist, you can't be part of the party.